And we live. Welcome to the load shedding episode of
Are you honestly, are you honestly calling it that?
It's the load shedding episode, dog.
It's a troll to Nigeria as well.
Yeah, exactly, dog. Yeah, Nigeria, so unfortunate because it was very quiet this Sunday.
Unfortunate.
No, dog, I would inverted commas.
Nah, don't be diplomatic now.
The time for diplomacy was over last week, Wednesday.
Thank you.
The time for diplomacy was over.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal. I celebrated. It's nothing personal.
I don't think. Now, if it's when that own goal went in, no, I was happy.
It wasn't an own goal.
Was it Halle?
Yes, he hit that thing with the bottom of his shoe. It
wasn't
an own goal, actually.
It wasn't an own goal.
It wasn't. He tapped it in, but with the bottom of his shoe.
Wow.
That boy's story is something else.
It's amazing, man. It's amazing.
I mean, for guys that haven't been following his story, so he came at West Ham and it was a flop, like a proper flop, and then he went to Germany in Bundesliga.
He went to Ajax.
Ajax. From Ajax, he then went to Bundesliga. Yeah, and then as his career was starting to take off, he was diagnosed with was it testicular cancer? But it was a cancer of some sort. Yeah. So and then he lost a lot of weight. I remember seeing the pictures that he posted on online and whatnot, shaved head, and he wasn't that lanky, bulky number 9 that was his trademark. And then he beat the cancer. This is I think he got diagnosed 2022. 23 was on the comeback. Then he gets selected for his national side, which I think was brilliant because he was honestly he's not 100% right now, but he is. He's doing the thing. Next thing, 2024, beginning of 2024, he's the number one. Sorry, he's crowned African champion. That's fucking brilliant, man. That's
amazing.
These are stories that we live for as sports people.
Only AFCON can give you such.
AFCON ga Patrice.
Yeah.
Very impressed. Very impressed.
Let's be honest, guys. This AFCON was well run. There were no dubious calls whatsoever. Because in previous AFCONs, though, you'd find weird calls. But for me, I think it was well run. Credit has to go to.
It was amazing, man. We didn't embarrass ourselves. We didn't embarrass ourselves in officiating. In fact, VAR was so exemplary that even Jose Mourinho was saying that
I saw that
we should run the VAR operations as far as European football because there's no narrative attached to decision making. It's about what is the correct decision for what has taken place on the pitch.
So I think
it seemed so simple. It looked so simple when we do it. Everyone else. VAR is so complicated in England. Even this weekend, games would frustrate me because I'm like, why are these guys not like Africans? Why are these refs so timid? Or they're not able to make decisions, like clear-cut decisions. So difficult. Everything is so complicated for them.
And it doesn't have to. But
it doesn't.
The weird part is that when we were saying to them, I remember in one of the episodes you're saying, EPL should be taking notes on how to do VAR right now. When we say it, it's like we're blowing our own horn and what? This is Africa. Come on. What do you know? We way advanced. We've got Hawkeye. We've got this and that. And they've got all the technology, but Spanish. They struggle using it effectively. It's like that kid who at school or at home, they've got all the resources. They've got internet. They've got what? But yet still. Udom, and you can't help it. So I'm not calling anyone udom. I'm just making an example. For him to come from a man who's I think is one of those honest people when it comes to our calls. Because he's had his fair share of calls going against him and calls going for him. So for him to come out and say, Africa did wonders with the VAR, That one in itself was like big up. Very, very, very well done.
You know what I think is the problem in Europe? In Europe, the refs are they've been so used to also deciding the narrative of games. Sure, Bafana, they're so used to deciding the narrative of games that you can't take them out of that way of thinking. You know, it's either they decide with the home team or the big team. So if you're playing certain teams, you're never going to get decisions. We were talking about this with Liverpool, for example. You know, they're so used to that way of thinking that they're unable to utilize VAR for what it's intended. I'll make another example. The World Cup, for example. The World Cup was great in terms of VAR because there was no narrative that they were trying to push. You know, a penalty was a penalty. They were not trying to be, you know, this is, oh, you don't fall like that or whatever. In England, you find such things to say he fell down too easy. Is it a foul or is it not a foul?
It
should
so
be
I'm very keen. I'm very keen to see officiating in the upcoming Euros, because the Euros are in 4 months' time.
They'll probably do it right because the guys from Italy and Spain and Germany and France are going to be dominating. They'll probably have Anthony Taylor, Pella anyway from England. So those countries, their VAR, even though they can be, you know, problematic now at their own way, but in terms of running VAR, there's less controversy. In England, VAR is meant to support certain teams and narratives. And
it's a weird thing. It's honestly a weird thing because the officiating should be neutral.
Nah, it's never been though. You grew up watching the Premier League. Have you ever seen neutral officiating in the Premier League?
No, I hear you. And you know
that Howard Webb. Respect to Howard Webb. See that.
Dog, not Katzenberg.
For generations on end.
And Katzenberg agreed. Uguti Sir Alex had created a culture of applying pressure on refs, even United fans. So when they were refereeing certain teams, the fans would also contribute towards how they make decisions. I'm like, how can you as a ref say that you are basically saying you don't have impartiality at all? You are compromised because you are responding to the
pressure into a decision. It's like this weird one. It's this weird decision. Beginning of the this season, I think there was a huge call team. So for any set piece that comes in, if you are rapid tackling a thing, it's an instant penalty, whatever, if you're in the box. This weekend, Arsenal versus West Ham, it happened twice and nothing came off it. And I think the commentator tried to brush it off. It was he held him and he let him go. It's
what is foul play? Like, what is foul play?
And I saw it also with Maguire yesterday, where they held him with his big head. You couldn't miss it. And it wasn't given. I'm like, guys, come on.
He does it as well.
3 games in the season. This was straight.
I saw an Arsenal game where Gabriel did it. He scored. He was climbing on a defender.
Yeah, I remember.
He scored a header. And they were like, the defender's supposed to be stronger in that position. I'm like, he can't jump.
No.
Because he was holding him down.
Jump.
Yeah.
Yes, you're holding me down. I can't jump. So that's supposed to be a foul, but it wasn't. So England is different, guys. England, if you watch these tournaments, even Euro, like we know Italy, VAR was great in that tournament.
Yeah.
If you watch anything else that is not the EPL, you'll probably see that VAR is used much better, even in Spain, man. But hey, no, let me not lie. You watch Real Madrid games. Hi guys, no. It's too obvious, Lapo.
I'm not a huge Spanish thing, because I think there were like 2 teams and the other team is on a decline. Athletic Yazama. So I'll watch it every now and then. But no, gents, nah. What's the president's name? Is it Paris? Whoever he is, whoever is sending him an e-wallet to, he's always on point. He never misses a payment.
Yeah, I know. But at least, I'm just glad from an officiating standpoint. Like, this AFCON was like perfect. I don't recall they ever being a dubious call or a dubious call trending, whereas in previous
Well,
AFCONs you'd
here's
find,
here's here's a
very
call. Sorry, here's I wouldn't say a call. In Morocco, when we played them, remember what they said? You would see the presence of the of Patrice is
no,
forcing the refs, and then
it's them
Babala,
being
that was the
sour.
headline story.
It's them being
Now they were
sour.
being crybabies. They were
Yeah, they
being
were being cry
crybabies.
babies. I mean, losing 2-0 to SA, like a team that Cheese and I didn't have faith in, you kind of get like where they're
I
coming
mean, I
from.
still
But
don't have faith in them.
I
Ungathini,
know
I just
That's why
mina
you're sitting. That's why you're sitting in the
mina
dark.
mina ngithanda
yeah,
ukufihla izinto. Mina abantu
yeah.
abangathanda ngithanda. Bangakuthanda
It's too
ngithanda.
it's too late, Buff.
Hawu.
It's too late
Dala for in.
Well,
for hating.
Hayi mina I went to the tournament ngithi Bafana kuyafana noma ingadliwa first round noma ingadliwa ku-final. Hayi kuyafana mfana. Labantu laba basisogolisile empilweni zethu.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Basikhethile
I didn't have my
enough.
expectations are high.
Basikhethile
So,
enough.
so Cheese, you don't forgive.
Mina
Hmm?
never. Nabelungu basemsebenzini bayazi.
hey, jeez, mfethu bathi inhliziyo engaxoli isinda umnikazi wayo, dog.
Come on,
Mina
Cheese.
ngiright. Ipotri lami li-heavy baba. It carries a lot of weight.
Usafarile mfazi.
Safari.
But okay, Cheese,
Yeah.
are you proud of the boys, at least, dog?
No, I'm a chance. Yes, definitely. I'm proud of it. They did
Yeah.
themselves proud, which is the most important thing. I always say, forget about the country, kancane. How proud are you
Yeah,
of Indonesians? How
yeah,
proud? You guys, they need to be proud of themselves. Khohle
Yeah.
country, kancane. We can always just say Bafana, but if they don't believe in themselves, they can forget it.
Yeah, that's true.
100%.
I'm with you on that actually. Yabona, some of the performances that these boys put up, it was pride in good they're part of this group, and there was. I remember saying this. Wuti, was it? Yeah, but I remember this. Wuti, there's like that peace around the camp. There's serenity around the camp because normally we were not. There was always like a tension around the camp, either because Lilo Maponas or because there's certain players that misbehave you, or there's certain players. Well, there was the Ulile. It happened. We spoke about it and we moved on, and that was that. So
and he never got to camp.
Hmm?
So those are different because it's a selection thing. He wasn't available for selection. The camp
Yeah.
was clean and the spirit of the boys was amazing.
Yeah.
Whether they were playing or not playing, they were very together in this tournament.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of them from that perspective. Yoguti, no matter what the situation was, they banded together, they played for each other, they sacrificed for each other. A lot of players played out of their skin, to represent the country and themselves as well. I said it last week. I'm so excited for the futures about Pepelo, about Kuliso. The I'm hoping that South Africa nezangoma zakhona don't hold those boys back. Ngoba siyathakasha thina sidlale. Siyathakasha thina sidlale. I just hope we don't hold those boys back, man. Those
Yeah.
boys, the world deserves to see those boys play football. And I'm hoping that they can get those opportunities. Even Williams, I think he has grown, he's matured as a goalkeeper in front of our eyes. I still remember how nervous he used to make me while he was still at was it Supersport?
Super
Yeah.
sport, yeah.
Supersport. He used to make me so nervous because he's always had this calm demeanor about him, but it was also a weakness for him because he was foolish with it. The maturity is shown now is amazing. So those are some of the things that we can look forward to, players that we can attach ourselves to as fans of football, that are from this country, because we didn't have players making us proud, Shem, on the world stage for the longest time. We didn't.
I think also just to add on that, when there's that national pride thingy, you get kids on the app playing Itiski, where they start saying they want to play like this person, they want to play like that person. I remember when we grew up, there was a keeper with Evans. So he used to do like this wiggly thing whenever he takes penalties. And that thing was fashionable for like the longest of time because it confuses whoever hits the penalties. So with these with this crop of players right now, you're gonna get young kids that look up to them. And it will be very interesting to watch them get opportunities, whether it is overseas, whether they stick locally, because sure fine, local PSL or local league A2 is dominated by one force. But it'll be very interesting just to watch these kids have local national heroes. Sure, fine. You get your Haalands, those are exceptional players. You get your whoever internationally. But like having national heroes, that in itself, like it channels you as a child in a different way of looking at the sport.
Yeah, as long as they don't want to be Mahopa or
Evidently so.
There's into the Pirates, there's Ngakuri. As long as they're not trying to be those guys.
So, you're better.
As long as bangagijimisa ukuba abafana be-Pirates abangakwazi ukuthatha ama-penalty secret. Imnandi.
Yeah. We've got a comment here from Nash. Nashe Ron Jr. Double-edged sword. Now we have expectations of Bafana. World Cup qualifiers coming up.
Nash,
lapho nizozihenge-ke bafana bami, nizozihenge. Senizihengile-ke bachubeke bona bafunana nama-expectation. Bozithola sebahengile abantu ukuthi uzihengeleni athi bafana.
I agree.
I think there's a saying about the fear of success. In that once you succeed, there's an expectation which you should keep that up. So I think as a nation, let's embrace the success of these boys. And yes, growing the expectation now. Now they need to also understand and maintain that same level. Actually, not even maintain the same level, because the level is at third now. So they need to just up their game just a bit. So the expectation is good. Double-edged sword or not, but it's good for national pride. I think the one thing that we need to address, the elephant in the room, is up top. When it's up top, I'm talking about Hugo Bruce's. Okay, it's fine.
Oh.
I saw that. It's fine. I saw that it's okay.
Up top, we can't talk about those things freely.
Yeah, we can't, dog. Especially
we can't.
I
Look, Nash, I think we should also have our expectations be realistic. What has happened is we had a great tournament. What we need to now observe is how we can build from this tournament. And we're not going to be able to have the same vibes we had in this tournament for qualifiers, for example, because that's going to happen during the season when people are having to take breaks between playing for their teams. It's very difficult to rally the team, plus injuries and squad turnover. There's going to be a lot of changes, chopping and changing. Even now there's rumors that Tunisia wants Bruce. So there's going to be a lot of turnover with that squad. So
we've also put a target on ourselves as a country. We're now a powerhouse. We're now not going to just roll over and give away 3 points. Now we're fighting for a win. So that in itself,
we've been throwing.
I mean, we mustn't act like this has been the greatest. Almost
guys,
all the big teams were shit. All the big teams.
How many points would we have gotten from the quarterfinal, from the knockouts, if we're Skulmangama points?
I mean, a lot of the teams weren't good in this tournament anyway.
Well, the winners, but they crawled out of the group stages as the best of the worst. So that's how football works.
And they did comebacks all the way to the final. And they were coming back from deficits all the way to the final. The tournament was dramatic, yes, but in terms of quality, it wasn't the greatest in terms of quality. Even the showcase of talent. I'm happy that certain talents showed up. The likes of Ekong, the likes of Adingra, they showcased themselves. but the ones that were expected to dominate the tournament, they didn't arrive at all. Sadio Mane's, Mo Salah chose to go back to England. The people that we expected to shine, as AFCON has always done.
He ended up with 1 goal.
We had a right back as a top goal scorer. The strikers, the Osimhens of this world, didn't even score a goal in the tournament.
He did, and one goal. No, man, he had 1 goal.
Nope. Oh, leli limshaya idolo la yenza langena.
Yeah, again, he's credited with that goal.
Exactly. So those players who had the highest billing going into the tournament didn't actually arrive and do anything. So in terms of quality, it was lacking. But because it was lacking, other talent was showcased. And I'm happy of the drama, the quality of the goals that we saw. The passion in terms of how the teams were playing. It was great. It was very dramatic, man. I enjoyed a lot of the AFCON games.
The Kudu interview, I don't know if you guys saw it, the Kudu's interview where they asked him what happened just
after the Ghana game, and he couldn't say anything.
There were a lot of memes. There also was it the Cape Verde manager getting baptized.
It was Equatorial Guinea. It was Equatorial Guinea. That guy who was getting poured with water. He was suffering, that guy.
And there was the other manager, I can't remember, the meme of the tournament, where he's like, I think
that was an amazing miss.
Yo, he couldn't believe his eyes.
Imagine how it feels that there's a manager, you see a player do that, and then they capture that for you. The player will have to see it at some point.
I always thought Pep kneeling, because Pep has that thing of kneeling when someone misses a clear-cut chance. I always felt like that is like the worst I've seen, but that one was my favorite, because all he did was just like the most African thing,
It's like a parent. It's like a parent being disappointed.
Yes,
but to Adingra, that's a standard. That's a star. Brighton is funny.
Mina guys, it's twofold for me. Adingra has a lot that you can work with, ne? Mm-hmm. At Brighton, there are Brighton limitations as well. You see them with Matoma this season as well. There are so many limitations with their own turnover at Brighton.
His team.
Yeah.
Oh, Matoma is going to choose his team.
But United, Chelsea, and City are interested. Unodoku ulento. Unodoku.
No Grealish.
No Grealish, no Doku. He's not gonna. He's already chowing so much bench this season. It's sad. Udokuna is a rotational player at this point.
Yeah.
So on his flank, they are fine. He can come to Chelsea. I'll be happy to have him. I'm sure United, but I don't, as in the team nama transfers for my team, guys. Chelsea doesn't need transfers. It needs a code. That's all. Transfers.
Get Hugo, Jens. Get Hugo.
What?
Nah, Hugo is old, man. He's at the age of doing national sides.
No, the other thing is Hugo is too honest. Like Tuchel was too honest. Bang, I'm pushing in 2 weeks. Those Americans don't want to be confronted with the truth. So they want managers who smile and wave. And care about their relationship. So about Hugo was telling Safa nonsense and PSL nonsense. Afiga.
And people hated him for it. No
one liked that guy. No one liked that guy. Afiga. Urulani was reminding fans, this guy wasn't liked. Fans didn't like him. That's why people were boycotting Bafana games. People stopped going to Bafana games because of him. Win or lose, they were not going to Bafana games. So it was because of him. Nothing else.
When he commented about Chiefs, why he's not selecting Chiefs players, that's there's no quality.
But he was honest, Mfana. Because how can you watch Chiefs and say no quality?
So I wanted the morning drive. The morning show at Power FM. They normally allow people to phone in. I promise you that Monday morning, I think the whole morning was just Chiefs fans. Where's Joel? Who is he to tell us? But
Was
I'm
Marawa
sitting
still
there.
on the air? Was Marawa still
No,
on the
man.
air?
This is the morning show. This is he normally is a commentator.
No, I'm asking ukuthi ngalesikhathi uBruce afika, was Marawa still on the air? Because I think Marawa
was
never liked him.
He was going through the
How Bruce has been there for a while, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Rose Marawa akazodlala ibhola.
Zange
Akazodlala
ngithande
ibhola.
Bruce.
Mina ngimamela umuntu ongakazodlala ibhola.
Hey, jeez, dog.
Sikhuluma into engazazi.
Guys, guys, there are two coaches I want for my team. The Girona coach and Xabi Alonso.
Oh,
Guys, the Girona coach is an amazing
I
coach.
think
You're a
He's a
big
favorite
dreamer.
to go to Barca. He's a favorite to go to Barca. The Barca job.
He should never go to Barcelona.
not right now.
The Barca fans are toxic. Xavi called them toxic. He was like, "Ni childish, Nina."
Those guys think they're at the level of Madrid, but again.
Now Xavi, the way that he resigned,
No, Mfana, you lose a game, ne? You lose a game, and then the whole Catalonia press is on your neck. Social media is on your neck. You're getting fans, busy now and you've attached your entire persona, your personality, your life to that club, and they're talking about you like you're not a league winner. Like you
didn't bring them Champions League.
You're not achieve anything at all.
No.
Under the most difficult circumstances of a Barca manager for the last 15 years. No Barca manager has had to deal with what Xavi has had to deal with at Barca in the last more than 15 years, because they've always had a star. From the time about Rivaldo and about Ronaldo, they always had some type of top of the guiding star at that team, flagship star at that team. They don't have one today. We can say Lewandowski, but Lewandowski is like 56. They don't have a star in that team. When Messi left, that team was supposed to go through this. The fact that he was able to win a league title during a rebuild was a blessing, Van. No one wins a league title during a rebuild. No one.
Yeah, but last season everyone was shit anyway. So it was like anyone who could stand up could win it.
It was like it was on their side. But did they sell Messi to PSG or he walked out?
He walked.
No, they couldn't afford his wages anymore. He said he didn't want to. They couldn't. He said he didn't want to pay cuts, and they couldn't afford his wages, so he had to go.
They promised him they were not going to cut his wages. That was the problem.
Yeah.
They then wanted to renegotiate terms after the contract had expired. So Messi was like, I guys, it's in
But and also because
no, he was already. If Barca was forcing other players to take a pay cut for him, so they could afford him.
Yes.
So I want already that
he sacrificed himself for other players to stay. Barca was
going
to force everyone to take pay cuts.
Yeah, about Traore nabo Real Romeo laba sana khona wasana ngamango bayabamile bazikhafe nokusikhafa
nabo Kevin Prince
imagine how that will make you feel, Doctor. You have to take pay cuts for the Duana.
I have to go back. But I'd say junior coach for 2 seasons until he might not be right. But settle being a top 4 team for those few seasons. And while they rebuild, I want a choice of it. First of all, Immortaliabo was just not working.
They should take the Girona guy.
The business model was just not working. Yeah, it's not fair also on the Girona guy. Like you touch a team, you make it better than a team, then you arm your coach the next season. The Girona coach, I think that guy must wait a bit. I lean until the persona has his shit sorted out. And then they can start speaking about the coach.
I don't think that's going to happen in the next 2 seasons.
No, Manjamele Batate coach from P team or wherever. Jengabo Pep, take a chance and hope he takes the club in the right direction. Xavi's a big player, bitch. Xavi's a big player. I can't talk about Masimba now. After all those years he's given to Barcelona.
Yo, bruh.
Yeah,
And now
He
100%.
it's the
felt
fans who are
betrayed.
speaking about
He
him.
felt betrayed.
Yeah.
His statement was from hurt. You could tell Uguti. He was like, understand Uguti Funan, guys.
And they want it from Dala.
Yeah,
I'm
the
gonna bring this
circumstances.
comment back.
Fans are fickle.
What the
But
fans
since
are
last season, Pelangit, when they didn't even do well in Europa.
Yes, they
But
started
I
last
think
season.
also it's the same problem.
Hmm.
It's the same problem who Alonso is going to face at Liverpool.
It's going to be
Because-
different for Alonso at Liverpool. The team at Liverpool is more senior than the Barca team Xavi got. And
Yeah,
the
because
team at Liverpool,
that's a valid point.
that helps.
He crash into
He crashed Barcelona, Spali.
But when they celebrate some 16-year-olds.
Yes. But
Spali, he crashed Barcelona, Spali. They're kids, man. And they're still buying kids. So there's no transition from experience to Lento. They're buying kids. And it's frustrating for the senior guys in the team. So your Lewandowskis, their numbers are falling like on the wayside because
I don't feel for him because he should have joined Chelsea. We were in it for him. We wanted him at the time when we needed goals. I don't feel sorry for him.
All right, yeah. Besides that, lapha Chelsea.
Replace with Jackson.
But
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. He was excited.
They should have come to Chelsea.
When we
wanted him, this is like what before he went to Barcelona. This is
doesn't
like
matter,
yeah, but Lewandowski has the La Liga title lapha yana. Bekazowina lapha ku Chelsea.
Yeah.
But we needed goals. Number 9, best 9.
That's a no-brainer. Bekazowina ini.
FA Cup. Anyway, have removed Omengane X. Have removed to EPL.
Yeah, I wanted wait before we move to EPL ish. Yeah, that's just let me just share my screen. I wanted us to have a discussion on this.
You are really in the dark today. You're really slow.
No, I'm not slow. Trying to discuss this. Now, of course, this is not the official CAF thingy. Team of the tournament.
I saw this. No, man.
It's the soccer
but you can
score.
see, soccer score or
It's based on match ratings. And
yeah,
Hakimi played less games than Kuliso. So average is higher than Yaga Kuliso.
Higher, yes. So this ain't
we deserve 3 players here.
No, it's not legit.
It's not because even the Nigerian captain wasn't he player of the tournament?
He was.
Yeah, Ekong is a no-brainer as well. Mvala is a no-brainer.
Yes.
Okay. So South Africa deserves 4 players here.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
We got to the end of the tournament.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I don't think 4 players.
It's not like Ivory Coast was doing great things. They're not going to have a lot of players on this. The winners themselves won't have a lot of players on this. In Nigeria, they may have Ekong, maybe Calvin Bassey.
Yeah.
Lookman.
Yeah.
Maybe. Footy, it's a big maybe because I don't think Lookman was better than Adingra, for example, in the tournament. So I think Adingra would be Lookman. Yeah? So his match ratings would be higher than Ezaga Adingra. But in terms of performance, Adingra was better than him. Lookman uyavaleka man. Lookman umakwe usiyanda xulu angimboni ngalutho.
Usiyanda xulu redeemed himself, gents. Can we because at first game against Mali, we fetched him. We fetched him hard. So let's just say the boy did redeem himself.
I mean, Ankoli Lula, but he never made any mistakes going forward, Shem.
Yeah, I know he didn't.
Playing, I never saw an error at all.
So both of you, no, cheese, and you don't forgive, no forget.
I mean, I'm that.
When I saw okay, Sihle when I saw Kolile ngoPia Isa. So ngicela
No.
No. How you got him there?
And Pierre Issa had a full international career after 98, but Zang scored.
Yeah.
No, we can't forgive that one. That was national betrayal. Our first official World Cup in 96.
But who was
how many was
selecting
2 or 3
agent?
own goals?
Our Philippe Trozier, why were they selecting an agent, a French player who grew up in France?
Yeah.
They thought he could win.
But that's why small. Isa.
They dropped the entire 96 team. Be favor Guti, Philippe Trozier is gonna come
with fresh
blood throughout the tournament. Le tournament, and I was very young, but yes. I was
ukuthi igama lomuntu maku-Isa wafaka udino L phambili kuba udlisa. Umuntu uyasidlisa.
Lapho sabheda lapho. Shemra such a flop. Nabo Hans Fonk.
Bese right time esodliwa ngabo Happy Jelly wathi kafana.
Yeah.
Bekaphuma pho Fonk. Ngono sidliwe njengale team ye-PSL le. Bekuyi-PSL 11 lebesidlala ngayo.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Ngono sidliwe kanjalo. Hayi le ukuthi siloko silanda abantu from kude bazosidlisa. Hayi.
Usithole semlande from kude, but yeah, that's a star.
Asemlande fair usithole bengingamazi mina lo mfana, I'll be honest with you.
Even with that, even with Ustole being the difference, we always need 1 or 2 guys who have a bit more experience in playing in other countries, just to diversify. Because
I agree.
We can't have it. Otherwise,
that's why being team. I was hoping they would select Tlongwane from the MLS. Our striking options were lacking, especially after Ulendo, Foster Angazanga. To go to the tournament with 2 Pirates strikers. Saz ukuthi striker we-Pirates awathanda ukora was just a problematic situation. We should have brought Tlongwane nje. I in the mix, because what was Lipasa there to do? What has Umakopa fine? I understand he had everything.
Hey, I mean, even the chief striker, he had a case for himself.
Which one?
Ashley. Ashley, Dupri had a good case for himself.
I agree with you. I think Ashley would have been a great rotation for Umshish instead of Umihlali, because Umihlali, Umihlali akanayo le magic efuneka.
Umihlali akafani neGrootman lakhe.
Umihlali footballer abafethu. He's a footballer. I think Mayambela was supposed to be a midfielder. The way he plays does not match up with being a winger, and he understands their profile. Mayambela should have worked on his technical game. He's got the height, he's got the build for a midfielder. He could have been a great midfielder.
Distribution corner.
Yes, he's still young. He can pass the ball. He has vision. Yonkinto. He should just develop as a midfielder. That boy. Leyo ukuthi abe winger with that physique ayenzi sense.
Because the pace is not there, and I think among wingers, even though sometimes maybe some speed legends, among wingers need a bit of pace.
You see, if we had Ashley, as a rotation, Yaga Mshishi, since clearly Mshishi can't play a 120 game, because Bendong is good. Why lo muntu kanti asifike emapenalty naye kwenzakalani shuthi yamhluli 120 bemele ukuthi kube nomuntu ofana no Ashley, umuntu oyiphela nje ohluphayo. Even if it's not Ashley from my team, but a large type of player, a player who's just a pest, okhona ukungena nje ashukumisa igame. Besifuna umuntu onjalo.
But mina sengikhathele ama-players lesithi uyahlupha. I-strength sakhe yini? Hayi, ukuthi yabahlupha ama-opponent. Mina ngikhathele lento leyo. I know what you're saying, fam. Hey, Osimhen akayenzi nix, but ama-defend ayahlupha, ama-defend awo relax. But you never do it.
Uyahlupha leya muntu. Yo,
amabhola amshaya amadolo. Iyafaka imask impilo yakhe yonke Joe. Angeke udlale ibhola njengaleya muntu. Ungalimali. There's no way.
But the mask of sorrow.
Hayi la muntu ngeke.
But what a tournament, man. Patrice Patrice must keep his job. What a tournament! What a tournament from him!
Yeah.
What a tournament
I
from
mean,
him!
I don't see him getting fired anytime soon. Anyway,
Nah,
he's
he's
gonna
not.
be there.
Who Hayato was there for how long?
My
man?
kids will ask me about that guy. I have a feeling.
How long was Issa Hayato there?
Oh God. Oh,
I'm not
More
sure.
than 20 years.
yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a long time. Well, Tina, before I'm sure even 30 done. Who was before him? I can't even say before
Yeah,
that.
30 is going to be
he
100
ran that
years.
conglomerate.
The,
He ran it.
30 is going to be 100 years.
Right. Yena yibona dala bakhona futhi emhlabeni.
Yeah,
Nje into
Dala, but
emele siyenze manje kumele babulale mabangabulala nje uDanny Jordan.
aye, but
Uthi Nsihle.
no, I take that back, dog.
awuDanny mele bavaye bafethu.
Oh, yeah, but this thing.
Mele bavaye emhlabeni. Hayi,
Oh,
Emhlabeni.
Aboteni won't allow anyone to succeed. But Aboteni won't succeed. Those guys will never let anyone succeed because then he lost the job. Those sabotage abantu, uzenza everything negative for ukuthi succeed as a football. And all his
I'm
power.
so glad this year I am calm than everybody else because you were expecting that from me, but I am calm. Asibonge cheese.
No, mfana. Ivari mfethu. Yazi mina at least sisho into everyone was thinking and someone has to say it at the end of the day because Aboteni ngeke bayeke. And then no one's gonna take him out of power because everyone knows up.
Bazomvotela mfana. Yabona manje bane prize money ebonakalayo. They're gonna have that meeting yabo lento executive abagaya amakhathi wabo, and then they're gonna vote for him again to retain him again.
I saw they revisited that decision or the initial contract on bonuses. So it looks like they're gonna get half of the prize money. I can't remember how much the prize money is. I think it was 7, if I'm mistaken, 7 million US. Works out to about 130 something locally. So it looks like the players are
azosithomela ama-soccer player nkosi yami
baspanile ndoda baspanile,
especially lezi ze-Sundowns mfana uceda ukunye 75 bar bese nangapha uzothola enye yabomkwena mfethu nabo
uliphasa sibani uzofika uliphasa noma bayothenga ama-euros manje
no, it's fine. They must just phone Konjo, who's the former Sundown striker who now yeah, but for look at Stefan to hook them up. So the facelift GTI ingenile. So yeah, they must just get that number 8.5 once.
Usatheni GTI uzothola ibonus yemeter.
It's different. It's not that we have to take us what's we're gonna get GTI. Usezintweni. You are in the
ungena nge-M2 dog.
Ngabanyisa ngisangeni nge-GTI ngine 2 meters.
Yeah, ungena nge-M2 sibali usathi GTI.
Bakhuphe ngotiko Mutisi. Yabona ngotiko Mutisi, that's how Tiko Mutisi lost most of his money.
Yabo abakumele kucace
amarutiko omnandi bo.
Yeah,
he had to hide imali from his ex-wife.
ayenze kahle usizile.
Women don't deserve it, baba. Mina ngifit imali. Zofa la makathi ngasekho baba usikhalele lawo.
Jeez.
No, serious mntwana ama-gents aphila kabuhlungu. Mina ngihlala nabo labantu ma-gents. Ngihlala nabo. Ngiyakutshela mina ukuthi ama-gents aphila amasiko because of you guys. Angithi basafuna ukuba ama-hit. Impilo yakho yathi awufika sina only one set players ashadile. Ungafuna
uyabona umshishi uyabona ulento bandlo uBen 10 imali yakhe ithenge iOmoda after baqeda uwin cup uqeda ukuthenga iOmoda manje futhi ba win cup mara bathi umntana uyathengisa futhi same time mari girlfriend yaka Ben 10
ayabaphetha bengancane atheni baphethana okay
no yabona into uchiza khuluma ngayo sibali ne lamajita they take these girls abafuna i-lifestyle
soft
lo mntana ufuna i-lifestyle dog ngeke ukhona ukubuilda anything naye ufuna into eza kuye eyenza yena abe nice then wena mawusuphelelwa because it's a short what's this, it's a short career mawuphelelwa wena le career mayiphela umntana usafuna ukuba ngaphandle usafuna ukushisa ngaphandle uyambandisa wena usafuna ukushisa ngaphandle ubuyela back
amajida now abhadalela boma 100k ukuthi bathenga ibuni lezo abajika ba-advertiser ngazo. But anyway, I hear you.
Jethi ngeke umntana ulele e-back roomini coming up ubhadale 100k ukuthi ulale naye dog bekadliwa intanga ekasi e-back roomini for recorder or amagwinya ekseni wena manje kumele ukhiphe 100k for yena ibafethu no
it's going
today dog
uphume kasi
this is a real load shedding episode.
That's a real load shedding
episode. Lo mntana uphuma ucheese lo we understand I know ukuthi ucheese bekamlanda ucheese ucheka ngebhayisikili phela ucheese
mina ngidlala for real
the background yafaka
vari
no ngirivari
awukhuluma vari
ulanda ngebhayisikili wena uza nge-RS4 lapho uyocheka lo mntwana mawuqeda uyahafa on top of that mara lento lena ngiyayidla mina ngeweekend hayi amajita ayabhayiza bafethu amajita ayabhayiza
the one thing about Samachita, if we're being honest, it's that thing of you think you're going to be hot forever, as in hot property forever in football. Yeah. Football, Samachita need to understand, if you can push on a professional level, on a professional contract, if you can push 5 years, you are legendary status. Because there's a lot of these guys that fail to push level 5 thingy, either because of being unlucky with injuries or they
lifestyle choices.
Or personal choices, of which most of them fail to account for. They'll always find means of like trying to know I was dealt a bad hand and whatnot. It's just that. If and just get them to understand bonus and what's if you can just bonus whatever your pay is, because your pay is going to be huge, put it away. Bona abafuni bayifuna injalo imali
ungayi eCubana Southgate
that's cheese hunt
nabantwana esingabaphenduli ku WhatsApp thina sikhuphekayo uyamplutika lo mntwana ku WhatsApp makafika eCubana isoccer player lenza imali ebhayi ukudlule yakho sibali lihlanyiswa lo mntwana that time umplutikile wena ku WhatsApp uzomthinta mawusufila ngaye like it's sad mfana, it's sad, and these guys fall for these chicks. Mina ngeke ngahlangana nenye hostess eBromimi Trend mfana.
Mawungazwa amagama ne.
Ngeke ngisho igama.
Bheka umulise sekayajoina ngoba unestory naye. This thing has stories.
I don't have stories. I'm here to laugh.
Ayamazo umdise baba uzositshela ngomuntu ka
umuntu kabani
chief ngesizulu sithi igama lendoda inkomo so don't
wena uthe
no, I'm not gonna mention names but
ama-chance ngiyacava mfethu ama-chance
lomntana lona bekaphuma e-waterfall corner dog le part bekahlangana nayo i-player ne iyadlala lo mntana makasitshela istory sakhe uthi no untanga bahlangane Friday babhuka ihoteli eSenting eGalomena lama BNB la babhuka eGalomena babloma eGalomena ku BNB with 3 other players ne bashupela mara masilo sikhuluma lo mntana ukhuluma ne-boyfriend uloku yafona i-boyfriend dog ithi hayi khohlwa uthi lo mntana and manje ufuna manje ngiyomcheck ngithi i-boyfriend akuhlala kuphi akuhlala eFreedom Park ngithi wo yipi Freedom Park girl athi Freedom Park yazi mosi mawuzoye natural nama ungase Soweto ngithi le Freedom Park ngiyazi athi ya ngithi umuntu okhaya lapho ngithi athi sho ngithi wenzani umuntu wakho athi is a petrol attendant ngathi all right I-petrol attendant iyadla laphayana dog. I-soccer player dog ikhiphe i-10k for one night for leya mntwana. Oshaya i-petrol attendant yase-Freedom Park ekazi. Ikhona umuntu orojwayo lapho. Someone is getting the horrible end of the stick lapho.
I can tell you who it is. And it's not the petrol attendant because you're
It's not the petrol attendant because lo mntana uze uthi kithi phela ngiyamphandela naye. Ngiyamphandela nama ngihereza so. Naye uyathola. Cabanga dog, dla imali yakho. These guys are icon.
Ama-Chelsea ngiyacava mfana. I just think vele because ama-Chelsea akhula angacava imali and not around people abanemali. Soon as mabayithola nje bafuna ukwenza into ezidomo. Mina ngazi umuntu obekanethebe etavern. Cabanga umuntu unethebe etavern. Already amabhiyosi etavern 24 is half price leyo ithenge etwaleni. Mara indoda no hayi wena ntwana wena uthanda wena uyinkinga nawe siyakhuluma nje but nawe uyinkinga. Anyway, i-tavern like indoda ethenga utshwala inethebe i-tavern kusho njalo mayidlula 3 Hennessy or something out bese bambhala bayabhala bese mhlawumbe man-10 uyazoha and over 3 Hennessy ye-1 lapha yami mina ngizingeni
Bheka leya sekasi lakho cheese. Leya kamaweni le. Leyana ifamba
out yami le le out yami ke fucked up out yami ukuthi blow inokuzwakala
emarolimele leyana yes
manje mnandi noyo kulamasya amzama nyana kulamasya
mara
uyafusha
still go from
bazodlala ne-Sundowns bayishaya i-Sundowns
athole lelo hayo lelo.
ngabe at least uye AFCON nayo ubuya petimeter something
ayiyadlala leyo
usibuda kuba rampana ku-AFCON. Usibuda kubale ku-AFCON manje. Kuba flyer back home manje usibuda. Amnandi. He was a proper player, that man. And like he still is.
But I think also, gents, let's put to perspective ukuthi usuka maybe usuka Pirates siyazayibhadala. Pirates maybe bhadala 20k 25k. You move over to I'm making an example here. So usuga from one contract, which is like a 25k contract, and you move to a Sundowns is Patala Malin, Patala like literally maybe 4 times that. And so you can understand, Guti, if it discipline Yiko from an early age, this will mess them up. Look, and man, they've seen this movie time and time again.
Can I put it into perspective and why I joined, right? And I hear all the valid comments, but I also think it's all about upbringing and all of this. A lot of these guys, Carl, have never been exposed to money. And it's a black child issue, right? Even in corporate. You see black kids that make it in corporate. Just hold on for me. That make it in corporate, get big money. Yeah, same time, utenge GTI, ingamla ka bayithenge limoto. You know, they already teaching them how to invest at a young age, this, that, the other. A lot of these young black guys don't have that luxury. If you want a good example, look at Upongani Kumar. He was raised from a wealthy family. Azana Moshimali. You can see through how he was disciplined as a soccer player, not married. Just that same thing. You understand? Yeah. You can see it in them. Maramanje uthathu Junior Khanyo umsusethembisa azange abone 10,000 umfakele 50,000.
Hayi khohlisa izethembisa zonke. Ungajunya kawo ethi zonke.
No, I think it's
Davidson mfana.
Zonke, but Davidson is zonke. It's kaseliwana ngithi leso.
Yeah, zonke mfana. Zonke.
All I'm saying
kaseliwana.
Hayi kaseliwana. 609.
But all I'm saying, Kao, is it's a black child problem. This thing across, it's not a soccer issue. It's across all careers and all career paths.
I agree.
So,
I think the challenge also is
So,
vele ama-soccer player vele bayayithanda i-attention yabantu besimame ne, and I'm talking from even high school level. Abosihle laba abafana bamagwegwe laba badlala ibhola, they've always had that appetite ye-attention yabomama. So once unento ethengayo, you understand, something now that
You're
you
a
can
winner.
use as your leverage over these ladies.
Awusa
Uwinile.
striker,
Yes.
striker grounding pair. Awusa
Nase
striker.
Man.
grounding
I'm
performance
not
esa.
actually. I very one actually of my soul pretty man. So this is a
Yeah,
kiss
so
give
it's too much. It's too easy, in fact. So I think Vele, the lifestyle is a lot. A lot of these guys are young. I mean, I remember Steve Lekwele, a dog. They were taking videos of this guy as a high school at a disc. You understand? The cameras, SABC Sport cameras, were following this kid at high school. That will affect you for your career. That's going to affect immaturity, especially
Not
if you don't
necessarily,
have
Kau.
the
Okay. If you
training
if you
AMI.
have the right if you have the right mentorship and sort of upbringing, I think it can work to your advantage, right? I mean, look at these kids that play overseas in the academies, Carl. They're on TV week in, week out. They're
About
playing
Declan Rice,
at the
so Declan
yes.
Rice, about Harry
They're
Maguire
playing
Mara
is the
pegabo
yes.
Jesse Lingard, guys. Pegabo Jadon Sancho. That
now
shit takes
Jesse
discipline.
TikTok idlalenga. You must sue
You
TikTok.
need discipline, but you need discipline. You can have the right mentors.
Yes.
Once you are at the position where you're making your own decisions, you've
But
got
at
that
this
big contract. You
and I'm
need to
with you.
make the right decisions. At
I'm
the end of the
fully
day,
with you.
the mentorship helps. Yes, it can delay the craziness itself. But what happened to Dele Ali? What happened to
Dele
Jadon
Ali,
Sancho? What
joke.
happened to Rashford himself? What happened? Rashford is lucky because Man United has backed him. Man United has stayed loyal to Rashford. They
Yeah.
could have
No,
dropped him
very
a
true.
long time ago. We understand that.
Very true.
What has happened to most of these young boys, that's in England, about Jordan I, dog, what happened to those boys in England is the lifestyle got to
And
most of them. Even Wayne Rooney would have fallen if Sir Alex wasn't harder on him and forcing him to make certain compromises because
but
the lifestyle is heavy.
what do these
But
guys
the super
have?
sport,
This comment.
but CK super sport yenzile le thing. I they started that school for normal footballers
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
they
it's
they
did.
did.
biased. It's biased great this game. So if financial no if any financial education scale, there's I think is the food this game.
Chiefs has it, dog. Chiefs
It
iqala
choose as an
nge-players village,
educational, yeah,
angithi.
yeah.
Yeah,
But gents,
Chiefs iqala
I was
nge-players
watching.
village.
I was
They take
watching
them to
Cheese
Winchester.
Boy. I was watching an interview with Cheese Boy where he says when he signed his first professional contract, ubedlala, so he was in training, but end of the Uba Phone at that side. Went to the big boss's office, got to a piece of paper, what sign, now this is your professional thing, professional contract. And then he didn't know how much he was signing for, he didn't know how much the duration of the contract. And the only time he found out how much he was going to earn was the day that he got paid. That in itself speaks
That's
volumes.
Bro, all I'm saying
Wena mara
is
ungakhohlwa phela ukuthi le out okhuluma ngayo imafi. Ngeke ngisho igama
yeah,
layo but lezinye izinto
It's what
esimeni
Moses was saying now. I'm a mafia. And I'm a mafia, to be honest. They busy. There's an English word I'm looking for, but I'm not going to use it. But they're ripping off talent. That's why you're not going to get people thriving because there are these gatekeepers that know, I need to get my pound of flesh before you move on. And if I don't get my
Lungisa
pound of
sihle
flesh,
ithi gate ngikhipha uthi gate ungathi gatekeepers mfethu. Isho
gay.
le
how
is for everyone.
Amagiyangena manje.
Hawu umzwile uthi gatekeepers. Gate
it's a
gate
gatekeepers,
ngigcwalisa gate.
gatekeepers.
Yabo khane manje ufaka uthi emfethu sifuna le show yethi idume kanti wena unjani?
What in Kosha
Awuphathe
man?
kahle mfethu. Wena ucosha abantu mfana.
This
Yeah,
is
but
the show.
yeah, but you
Yo,
want to say something.
no, Jim, I just want to know what the poor gay guys did.
Hawu
That's
mfethu. Asi the gatekeepers.
It's a gatekeepers. It's a
Say
certain
Gatekeepers.
but it's honestly it's where our society finds itself in right now. And if we're being
nah, bro.
honest,
Nah,
But
bro, I
Modise,
think,
Modise, do you
yeah,
wanna tell me ukuthi ama-Proteas don't have financial
and
education?
that's what I'm getting to.
Tsotse bawangena babethembisa baba wathengela wonke umuntu i-case. Makasethembi kuthengela wonke umuntu.
And that's what I'm getting to. Now, look at my Proteas, ne? Ubheka uKagiso. KG Kao has a shitload of money. He's made so much money. Akazi ukuthi ayenzeni. But his parents are well off. He grew
Yeah.
up in a decent family, so he doesn't have to do anything, man, to
He's
flaunt
a
it.
St. Stilians
Because
boy. He's a St. Stilians boy.
boy, bro,
Yeah.
and that's what's key about sending these kids to certain schools as well, right? Because uthatha umfana uphume eSupatsila, and I'm sorry for Supatsila, Kao.
Where's
It's a good example. It's a good example. Uyafunda
No,
nawo
Kao.
wonke.
Vele. And what do they teach them, Kao? Babafundisa English ngesipedi. Kao,
Yeah,
I
but
mean, come on.
Joe, after 5 minutes umenyera uthi techno ke phumani la eklasini. Mina ngiyavala.
Sebagwazana. Like you saw the news, you saw the
Ngena
other
abantu
day.
abayi-3 umenyera akafuni ukufundisa anyway. Ngena abantu abayi-3
You
lethu
guys,
tech
you
ngona
guys
nihambe
saw
nonke la eklasini la.
that kid in Innerdale that stabbed somebody for 5 rand.
Last week.
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Guys, those are the type of children we're dealing with, girl, that come from those type of townships. And that's why the moment these kids get, honestly, I would support a young black man to get married early, because then you know what you're working towards. Then you know what you've got to do. Also, your surroundings matter. Look at Ulungi. Lungi Ngidi doesn't come from the best of backgrounds. He's made a shitload of
Yes.
money. What did he do? He's built his mom a house. He stabilized this, that, the other. He
Mara
tries to stay.
McDonald's, mela yehlise
Mara,
McDonald's.
yeah, Mara, he stays away from media as much as possible. And that's why it's not that they don't club and stuff like that. He's clubbing with the white boys. And they do
Now,
it carefully. They tread
Ngiyayazi
carefully.
Chirega Lungi. I actually know his girlfriend.
Welele, nazo.
Ozkeep.
Ayakwazi.
Nazo.
Umseme
Living a
ngama-girlfriend.
secret life.
Umseme
No,
ngama-girlfriend
lives a
wabantu
very
ukuthi
secret
abobani.
life. He
Hey,
lives a
Chief,
very
I hope you
secret
don't
life,
know.
Bele.
I hope you don't know my wife, Chief.
Nah, don't worry. Don't worry. No, the thing is, angithi manje the circles the cricket, my brothers frequent
your
those
brother,
circles
yeah.
as well. So I know people's families and stuff. So girlfriend normally iyaya kulento magdlalwa, and they have the player suite.
Yeah, she was in India. She was she was at the World Cup. I saw her.
Yes, exactly. One of those chicks there.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, they were
Mana
hot
ngeke
as fuck.
umkhombe.
Mina angeke ngimkhombe. I saw her in TV from there.
Was it the tall one? Was it because there was the tall
that tall
one?
one.
It was
Yes.
it's the tall one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I know it's hard to enter that.
Yeah,
Mina
I met
sikhulume
her.
naye.
And there was
Mina sikhulume
silence.
naye. Ayehlise ama-hamburger kangiki baba.
I met her Loftus kulento kwi Titans open day.
Yeah.
So they do have families. It's just that even the sport here, cricket, is not a celeb sport in the country.
Yeah.
Soccer is a
Well, it
celeb
is.
sport in this country.
No, man, it is. These Chief, it's like the rugby players, go. Those guys are taught to invest, are taught to handle certain things a certain way, to behave a certain.
But
And
you need to understand you need to understand what I mean by
Kurant.
celeb sport.
What do
A
you
celeb
mean?
sport means
Unama-kurant.
if Ulendo, if Kagiso Rabada ne walks into certain square, 70% of people won't know who he is.
Ah, Namanga, how you KG?
I don't know him.
Aye, not KG. Maybe if you say
Okay, maybe
if
not
you-
KG. Let me
Maybe
say
Oh,
Upekwa.
Pangis.
Yes.
yeah,
Or it's
yeah,
Pangis.
or
Yeah.
Rapangi. Aye, not
Mm.
KG. KG
They
is
won't.
the face of
KG is
black
known,
cricket.
bro.
Yeah, he is. He is fine. I'm talking about a senior player, Lapo. But most of those players, they won't know them. You understand? It's like even some of the Springbok guys. You know, some people don't know who those guys are, especially if you are talking before the World Cup. If you say, Umuntu akakubona say, who's that tall boy man who plays fullback? Not to Willems, the other one.
LaRue.
No, not Leroux, man. The colored boy. The one
Damien
who's a kid.
Willemse.
No, not Willems. The one who's a kid.
Oh, thingy. Moody.
Ngiyamkhohlwa. Yes,
Kanan-
Moody.
Kanan Moody.
Kellen Moody.
Oh,
No
he
one
plays
can actually
fullback.
show you. Most people don't know what that boy looks like unless they are actual rugby fans. You understand? Whereas with soccer is bigger than both of those sports combined in this country. So most of those players,
But Gao, can I disagree with you a little bit? Again, target market, Gao. If you take Kanan Moody and you take him to a bar in middle of Centurion somewhere, to a pub, they all gonna know him. They all gonna know him. But if you take him to Conga, no one's gonna know him, right?
Yeah,
And it's the opposite for
Not
soccer
no
players.
one. Mina ngizobazi mina. Ngoba ngisuke
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
mabona uko konka wena cheese.
ngizobe ngithi mina ngihlezi ngithi baba. Qamuthi nabantu abangani abadlala idiski uzophuza etavern le ka onke lapha emaponya.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is that it's again target market where you go.
I agree, but remember that's a minority sport. So if you place it in the places where the minority is present, of course those people are gonna know who those players are because the minority follow that sport. But in South Africa, the majority follows football. So that's why it's more of a celeb sport. Not to go to there are no famous players from those other sports, but it's more of a celeb sport for our players because if you go to the township, where the poorest of the poor are, they know who those players are. And they'll pick up those players. They'll be crazy about those players.
And just to add to what Onke said, I even had this debate at the office. I told him that if Bafana had won the CAF, the celebration would be bigger, in my opinion,
than the rugby.
Of the rugby because of the majority being Tina, Abantu, and a lot of
not in the corporate world, boy. Not in the corporate.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying in general.
In general,
but in corporate controller what 17% or whatever the percentage is.
But like
on the greater scheme of things.
On the greater scheme of things.
This thing of having steady girlfriends and whatnot. Ferguson was onto something, and this is like back then, where he wanted his players to have stable girlfriends, and he knew the girlfriend. So that in itself speaks who you have next to you.
And
they whisper
he didn't want Beckham to marry Posh because he knew Uti Beckham was gonna chase the celeb lifestyle.
Yeah, which he did.
Exactly.
But he did it smartly, boy. Look at him now.
Yeah, of course, he made money, but would he say Ipolalake? Oxalayo Ipolalake was never the same, dog.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That's Posh. Beckham was making moves that were beneficial for his wife. He moved to Spain for his wife. He moved to Paris for his wife. He moved to LA for his wife.
That's true love. I think there's an African saying, like we all look at it, Indoda is the head. And then I laugh. Then the woman is the neck. Because half the time we forget about the neck, and the neck literally controls where the head looks.
Yeah, it turns.
Just some wisdom for you.
I shy wisdom, pose. Shy wisdom. We keep our amazinho, vele wisdom too.
That's why you're sitting in the dark. That's why you're sitting in the dark today, Indon.
Shower no shady. Shower no shady. Shower no shady.
Guys, sing the stress manje. Sing about Crystal Palace. Hey, I got one.
Oh, namhlanje ubhekane nayo.
Yeah, 10 o'clock. I'm just waiting for 9 o'clock to see who
Mangelo, usidlayo ukuthi akaphuza ubandisa amabhiya. Uyazi stress yakhe sicala nini. Mangelo angaphuzi kanti usabandisa amabhiya.
Uzoshuba.
Not even.
But gents, let's hope our boys do better in the future. Yes.
Yeah, no, definitely.
No, I think the only way you can go from here is up. I think let's just keep the man Hugo. I think let's get the
Nango president.
Yeah, no, and he's serious. He's not.
Asakuzwa ndoda, asakuzwa.
Asakuzwa. I can't hear you, dog.
All I see is the language.
I think it's gonna depend, Bafethu, ukuthi lama bonus labafana bayenzani ngawo. whether or not we see ourselves. Siqhubeka.
Nah,
These boys
bro,
are
these
about
boys
to
are
get
smarter now. They
serious
smarter
money
now.
right now.
But they won't be
Nah,
ready
they
for the next.
smarter.
Abaning won't be in good age standing for the next AFCON. Umuntu phela ngithi like 28.
Yeah, 28. Guys, I hope he leaves. Yo.
They'll
Yeah,
be in the
he
right
leaves.
age. The next AFCON is when the next World Cup is. It's the same year as the next World Cup. Most of these
No,
guys
man.
will be the right
Isn't
age
the
for
World
that.
Cup?
Yeah,
Oh,
Man,
yeah,
I
every
hope
2 years,
Mutau
Cap.
leaves. Yo.
Cap is every 2
Hey, I hope
years.
he
You're right.
leaves. I wanna, if there's a player I want to leave, is Mutau. Umkwena ngiyambona. Umkwena uyachuma. Umtau
Oh yeah,
ufuna.
ufuna overseas.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
represent Limpopo. Phela mina ngiphuma eLimpopo angibuyi la eGoli.
Uvakashile la uzokwenza imali
Mina
la.
ngivakashile mina.
Hayi ntona ezinye izinto awudingi ukuzisho. Ezinye izinto awudingi ukuzibona. Ezinye izinto azikhulungi, azitoliki. That's what izinto azitoliki. Mara mhlambe for ama-viewers ke ama-viewers if bangazi umfoka bakabudise ma-viewers is from Limpopo. Sinabanye
He's
hayi
a
didn't
northern
need to tell
man.
us.
I think
Sinabanye didn't need to
Peaches
tell us.
is drinking in the darkness, gents.
Angisukela please.
Yeah, I know much
Score
appreciation.
prediction. Score
Yeah,
prediction,
score
Sihle.
So
For what?
Chelsea.
For Chelsea?
Look, fact. If
Ningadlali na.
No, but it's a London derby. You guys don't lose London derbies, most unless it's
Yeah.
Arsenal.
and that old man, that defrosted man, he looks like he's on his way out. So I think if we get a chance to Bashaya, like Basha messed up, we should maybe like 3-0.
No
But
Odyssey, no
my
Eze.
team.
Ew, if there's none of those guys, obvious. Man, Shabu man 9.
Yeah, and try and find the Arsenal.
Mina ngithi Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace 1-0.
Yes, and I can believe you.
The thing is, it's not controversial, Mudise. I miss a time when such calls were controversial. That's not controversial at all.
No, Mara onke when last did Crystal Palace have a clean sheet.
Okay,
Nokwabheka abantu
Palace.
nawabheka abantu banabo Anderson nabo bani ngithi nisangano le. Ifana noTottenham abahlale baconcede.
And Uporo bengimthanda. Yo, but
Yeah.
Poro's conceding every week, no it
he concedes every week.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace
True.
2-1 or 1-0.
Nah, we want to eat 3-0, but we'll see.
3-0 who?
Nah,
to you guys.
To us. Oh, come on. I don't like my team as much this time, but no, not like that.
Oh, right.
Nama also think Chelsea will win. Nama also think you guys will win.
Nama I think they'll win. Easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
I think you guys will
I
win.
don't. I'm that guy.
Yeah, we can see. It's fine. It's okay.
I know, gents. I see Valeni, Buffett. I see Valeni. I know. Thank you, Mbongi, the big time. It was a great episode. I think we need to have more of these conversations, you know.
In the dark.
In the dark, yes. Yeah, it was in the dark. He just got to Zala.
Because I might get to drink in peace. But anyway, just say.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Help a brother out. This is Easy Sport, and we out. Peace.